Hey guys, your boy Dana T. Jones here. I'm going to go over three key benefits of building business credit. The first one is you can actually buy real estate with a 0% APR credit card or a line of credit. The second thing is it doesn't even affect your personal credit. And also, you can start a new business by building business credit. Stay tuned. We're going to go over those things. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story of why, I really do believe in building business credit and why it's very important for business credit. I remember I was working on a fix and flip property that I have over there in Baltimore, Maryland. And with that property right there, the contractors, they were constantly going back to like Home Depot and Lowe's and they were buying materials. When they were buying those materials, I actually was using my personal credit card. So at the time, I think I had one credit card that had like maybe a $20,000 balance on it. The other one was like a $25,000 balance. With those two credit cards, being as though the contractors were going back and forth to Home Depot, like on the regular, I maxed them out. So being as though I maxed them out, my credit score went from like a 780 to like a 660, like overnight. And I was like, whoa, hold up. I'm like, man, that's not a good thing right there. So then I had to strategize and think of a way because I didn't want, my funds to get depleted from my personal credit card. And then for two, I didn't want my credit to, to go to shambles because your credit is everything. I mean, that's your word. That's your name. That's who you are. So you don't want to walk around with like a low credit score. I remember, talking to like one of my other buddies that was in the real estate, super duper heavy. And he mentioned, he said, "Hey, David, you don't have to continuously use your personal credit card. You can actually apply for a business credit card. You can utilize that right there. You can start buying the materials and things from your business credit card." And I said, "Oh, wow, okay." So, we went over a couple things and this, that, and the third. He was super duper deep into he was super duper deep into it, because he had like probably like I think like 10 projects going on at the time. So then, we sit over there, we went over a couple various things. So, I went on and paid him to mentor me and show me, how I can actually like build my business credit so I can like go to the next level. So, that's what I did because anything that I always do, I like to kind of like, I kind of like want to like cut the learning curve or kind of like, go fast forward anything because in life time is going so fast that you can't get back to time. So you got to try to, cut the learning curve of the time like some way, somehow. So one of the key factors that he actually showed me in building business credit, he turned me on to actually you can get these 0% APR credit cards. So whereas though, so now, for instance, I think right now in my business credit, I have like $225,000 worth of business credit right now. So with that right there, it doesn't affect my personal credit or anything like that. So what happened was, I'm buying these properties, from a hard money lender. So, the hard money lender, he's funding the properties and then, you have to pay everything back on like a draw. So say for instance, your renovation budget for a property is $90,000. So you had to pay 30,000, 30,000, 30,000. So, you pay the first 30,000 and you would get reimbursed that. So instead of maxing out your credit card, your personal credit card, and your credit score going down, you could actually utilize the 0% APR business credit card. It's not going to affect your personal credit in no way, shape, or form. You can actually like leverage that to max that out. So then you can use that for your first $30,000 draw. The hard money lender, he's going to reimburse you that right there. So then you go on to the next draw, by utilizing your business credit because you can actually utilize it to buy things like I said, at Home Depot, at Lowe's. You can actually use it too when you're paying like people on PayPal. So you can actually utilize this to pay your general contractors. So this is a strategy that you can go through as though you don't actually come out of your pocket with no money because once again, it's a 0% APR credit card that you're actually floating for like a year. So you can actually, buy a property, like I said, for like 100,000. You can have like a $90,000 renovation budget in there. You can utilize these 0% credit cards And then you can actually, make anywhere from like 80 to like $100,000 off of the deal. You didn't really come out of pocket with no money because remember, you get to float the money for like a year. So that's the strategy that I've been doing and I've been just working on, on like my fix and flip properties and things of that nature. And then it's a good thing because now it allows me to have more leverage to buy more properties. And that's what we all want to do. I mean, as far as with me, anything that I enter, I always want to know how can I, reach the top of that right there. If I'm going to get into real estate, I'm only going to do one deal a year or two deals a year. I mean, I'd rather just go get a 9 to 5 job because you figure, why put your time and effort into doing one or two properties when you can put your time and effort to do like 10 properties pretty much. So that's what I learned off these 0% APR credit cards is like it's like real cool. And then another thing to your business credit, it just opens up a lot of doors to do like various things pretty much. You can actually start like another business because remember you're floating it, you're floating it for like a year. So I even started a tour road business for my cousin. I don't have the time to do it, but I actually got I think I got like a $300,000 credit line for a tour road. So I know tour road was a booming thing. I was actually able to employ like my cousin and his friend pretty much because they needed a job, they needed something to do. So I leveraged my business credit to buy these cars on tour roads. And and they put the cars on tour roll. They kind of run everything, but I get like a return on investment. So like every month I'm making anywhere from like I would say anywhere from like 15 to $18,000 a month just off of the tour roll cards. And it's like if you think about it, I mean, I just utilize my business credit because that's what the banks show us what to do. I mean, you gotta leverage what they call OPM, other people's money. So that's what you do in these business credit cards or the business credit. You actually build up your LLC when you build up your foundation to actually stand on its own. So when I look at me as having my LLC pretty much, even though I'm the owner of the LLC, I just say, hey, LLC, you go over here. We're going to build you out this business credit. We're going to build you out what you need to have built out. And then we're going to come back and we're going to have a meeting in like 6 months. So, if I can, build a business credit and have the LLC go out there and just do these multiple fix and flips, I can start a new business such as Toro and things of that nature. And then 6 months later, you come back and he made like, 250,000 or more. That's pretty good. And then, business credit is very important because if you actually want to rise and go to the top one day and continue to grow, you can't do everything off of your personal credit because if you start getting all these inquiries on your personal credit, it's going to kind of like plummet your credit. And then once your credit gets plummeted and once your credit goes down, it's going to be hard to get a loan from anybody. So, once you're building up the business credit from like the net 30 cards and all that type of stuff, it's a beautiful thing because you can actually just start putting things under your EIN. So you don't have to put the things under your personal credit anymore. So then it gives you more leverage to do a fix and flip project. So then in turn, what I've been started doing, I started doing a couple of projects off of my line of credit. That's 0% APR. So it's kind of like the credit card. But instead of me having to put down 20% for a hard money lender, I'm actually able to like fund my own deals. So it's like, you figure if you're putting 20% down on a deal, let's say the deal is like, let's say that the deal is like $200,000. You have to put down 20% on a $200,000 deal, then you're putting down $40,000. But if you have the leverage in these business credit cards, you don't have to put down a $40,000. You don't have to pay the points to hard money lender because you're gonna have to pay points. So you're gonna have to pay like 3 points on there. So then you're paying $6,000 for the points. You're going to pay more in closing costs because it has to be like a lender's policy and all that type of stuff on there. So it's like you're cutting the learning curve, but you're actually saving by utilizing with these business lines of credit and the business credit cards. You're actually saving anywhere from like I would say anywhere from like 8 to 12,000 per deal. So then you figure if you're doing 3 deals at a time, you already save anywhere from like 24 to $36,000. So that 24 to $36,000, you can actually kind of like put that back in your pocket. And you can actually utilize that to get another deal. So that's how you got to always look at it when you're doing one thing, pretty much. And then the beautiful thing about business credit, if you like, say for instance, if you like basketball, if you like football, if you like soccer, any sports arena that you go to is all real estate. And real estate is coming from like, these major billionaires, they're actually using other people's money. So they're actually using that credit, they're using their name to get more and more assets. So what I do is I just follow the giants. So it's like, if they can do it, then I always believe that I can do it because you are the director of your own movie. So anything that you put your mind or that you put in your psyche to do, you can actually bring it to manifestation and it will happen for you. So that's how I was able to get into this real estate game and then just dominate it. And then anything that I get into, I just love to, I love to excel at it. So, one thing is excelling at it. And then I always learn to always get like a mentor to actually just show me on how I can kind of tweak it a little bit and then I can just take it to the next level. So, man, this business credit is a beautiful thing and it's just wonderful. And I'm just glad that I just learned it at this time, especially with like right now. They said that we're going in a recession. So you go to the rest in a recession, you don't know if the real estate market is going to continue to go down or do this. You just don't know what it's going to do. But when you have the business credit, you can actually float finances in order to get more and more deals. And then even if you kind of got like a rough deal or something like that, say for instance, the market goes down like 5%, you still have these credit cards where as though you're not paying no interest for like 12 months. So you can still get out the deal. You can still fix and flip the deal. You can sell a deal off, or you can either do a buy and hold. So even with the buy and hold, you're still going to refinance the property. So then once you refinance the property, you may put like 20,000 in your pocket. And then it's almost like if you use like a line of credit or something like that, it's almost like you're using like free money. You just have to utilize or do all the deals that you can do within that 12 months. And then once you did enough fix and flips, and then whatever credit cards that you did max out, you pay those credit cards off, and then you have a good track record because you can actually build up your Dun and Bradstreet score. You actually build up your paydex score. So once they see that you have a good track record of paying back these business credit cards and these business lines of credit, they're going to give you more and more leverage. So that you can go from starting off with like $50,000 worth of business credit to 200,000, and one day you'll be at like $1 million worth of business credit, and that actually allows you to do many more projects at one time. And that's the beautiful thing about it, pretty much. I hope that this was real helpful for you guys right there. And one thing we went over building your business credit so you can actually start a new business. You can actually, get credit cards or a line of credit with 0% down. And then remember, it does not affect your personal credit. So that's a good thing right there, pretty much. When you're thinking about building business credit, you're thinking about excelling and going to the next level. So if you guys have any other questions or concerns, or you want to just reach out for any more tips and tricks, feel free to reach me on Instagram at Dana T. Jones. You can also look at my website. It's danatjones.com. I'm here for you. Talk to you.